Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Chronicles of Captain Pontos. Coincidentally, this is the 36th episode of the Chronicles of Captain Pontos, which is our current campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But this is our 100th session since we started playing together as a group. So I have just realised I don't have my glasses, so that is going to be somewhat of an impediment to me. So I'm going to very quickly mute myself and go and get them, and then I will come back and keep talking. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, while he's not here, all right, you guys, I was away for 2 weeks, 2 sessions. Right. First off, you make my elemental a fucking water baby.
Yeah, he was cool. He was Wizzle.
Yeah. Yeah. You bastards! Yeah, making him fucking water. I know the spell allows it, but that hurt deep inside. And then, all you had to do, right? Nate was looking after Char last week, going, "Oh, should I use my charisma 0 character or this person with +8 in charisma to talk to this person and maybe get us out of here?" You know what? I'll go with the blunt fucking dwarf. Well done on that tactic. And then after all of that, let's send you all home, and I'm fucking on my jack in the plane of fire now. What the fuck?
Well, you gotta give us credit. We didn't know that the Raven Queen's avatar was so pathetic. They would send us home with nothing more than a 4th level spell that the party had access to anyway. I thought surely, they would know gate or something like that, but no.
Playing a shift or something like that, yeah. Maybe you thought that all you guys deserved after your spectacular demonstration. I don't know, but if you listen really carefully, somewhere in the Play the Fire, you hear that the Incredible Hulk music as Char is just walking along on his own, just at the end of the TV series. My poor little fiery boy. I started session 2 with you guys. We get to 100, and I can't even do it with you guys. What the fuck?
I still say the gripes with John, brother.
Yeah, but it's an opportunity while John, he might be listening to this, but while he's going to get his glasses.
I'm here. I'm here with glasses on.
Yeah.
You have your smoking jacket as well.
No.
No Vincent Price then. Okay. But now I just thought I'd vent that of my poor little boy. I'll sit back.
Actually, I was going to do the session summary, but since you watched it, Kev, I think the optimum opportunity for entertainment might be if you give us the session summary.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm back and I've got my glasses on and I can actually read the text on the screen, I am just going to very quickly give you some brief stats on the campaign to date. So we started this campaign with the Lost Mine of Phandelver on the 7th of January 2021. Wow. So we are actually closer.
Nearly 3 years.
We're getting on for 3 years now. So 3 years, 100 sessions, 300 hours. I'd say attendance generally has been pretty good. We had a few different players in the first handful of sessions. For example, Laura, Ryan's other half, was with us for a little while. We had one chap who was only in for 1 session. Actually, we had 2 chaps. We had another chap who was in for only 1 session as well. So Will was in for 1 session.
The guy who had the character Jeremiah. In combat, he always acted crazily and never attacked or did anything useful. It'd be like I jump up and down and shake my hands. I was kind of not surprised when he quit.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
speaking of jumping up and down, shaking your hands, and being equally useless, we also had a monk at one stage.
Yes,
Oh.
I was gonna say we've had one character death.
Oh,
Oh.
low blow.
I thought it was a good segue.
It
So,
was.
so that character death, that was in fact Nate's character Rentaro, who was
Yeah,
a monk.
that's it,
I think he was a level 2 or level 3, but probably level 2 monk, and he got insta killed by the ogre in Wyvern Tor in Lost Mine of Phandelver. Because monks, as you know, they rush in, they hit lots of times, they do hardly any damage, and then they die. That's how monks work. So, but despite my best efforts, I haven't managed to kill any characters since then. I've had to resort to dirty tricks. I mean, luckily, no other characters have died since then.
Which, considering all through the Shadowfell, I don't think Deep's had a diamond for a Revivify. I'm nicely surprised, or I might be wrong. I don't think you got a diamond for a Revivify, have you?
No, there were 2 Revivifies just before we came to the Shadowfell, but none since we got here.
But yeah, after we did Lost Mine of Phandelver, which we did in 17 sessions, which is actually a fairly brisk run through for that campaign.
Dropping an anvil on a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the highlights, wasn't it?
The only highlight, wasn't it, really? That we all remember.
It was some time ago. But following that, we did a relatively brief campaign, which was how many sessions with that? That was 18 sessions. So we did 18 sessions of a campaign called No Smoke Without Fire, which was a jaunt to the city of Brass, and had some interactions with Char's master, Char's patron. And then we came back to the Prime Material Plane to visit King, for he is a king, Deep's kingdom. I forget the name of it. Pentagon, that was it. Yes, and that was called Into the Jaws of Death, and that was a heavily winter and undead themed campaign with
all the machines,
with some slight kind of echoes of The Hobbit, possibly. Not slightly helped along by the fact that we had not long picked up, because partway through No Smoke Without Fire, that's where we picked up Michael, who and his character Borin was loosely based on a character from The Hobbit. I think originally he's kind of followed his own path now, but to start with, I think that was the kind of the character concept. So that was Into the Jaws of Death, which was our last campaign, and now since August 22, we have been doing the Chronicles of Captain Pontos, which is a story exploring the backstory of Captain Pontos, who in this campaign comes from a sort of dodgy Caribbean island somewhere off the Sword Coast, because nice to invent places and play with the mapping software. But yes, that is a brief run through of what has gone before, but very brief. And now, with as much venom and ire as you can muster, would you like to give us a quick recap of what happened last week? So Kev wasn't here, but he has watched the episode on YouTube. And Nate suggested that he do it, so fire away.
Yeah, I would have watched it anyway, but when I was getting messages asking for a lot of my items during this session, and then going, we're really sorry what happened. Don't blame us, Kev. It was like, what the hell happened? But anyway, little chat was had with the Avatar of the Raven Queen. He was a bit upset that we hadn't finished off the Netheril Lord. We tried to desperately explain that we were a bit ill-prepared and a little bit tired by the time we got to him, so we didn't really fancy our chances. But don't worry, let us go back to the material plane. We'll get ourselves up and we'll come back, no problems. He went, nah, you're doing it now. Everyone seemed to get teleported into some kind of pocket plane arena, and we had to do the fight. In Nate's capable hands, Char was doing quite good. Lots of fireballs, and then finally killing the Lord himself. So I'll give you that credit there, Nate. And then after that, the Avatar said, "Fair enough, you've finally done something right. I'll send you all home." But he did it, whether it was his limits or this was all we were worth to him. He used banishment as a means to take us back. Unfortunately, the caveat of that, it sent you back to the plane that you originate from. So all of you guys are in the go back to the material realm, and then Char is on his jack in the plane of fire. On the plus side, I've got all the money and items and loot because I was the one storing everything. So, hey, I don't have to divvy up the funds to people now. Making it rain.
So
that was surprisingly charitable. I thought it was going to be much more negative.
No. I have faith and trust in you guys and the DM for stuff like this. But at the same point, I've already vented my my viewpoints earlier on for in jest while John was getting his glasses.
I think we should bring back Wizzle. I think Wizzle's brilliant.
You learn the spell, you can bring back what you like.
I think I might have to.
There are items if the computer randomly generates it that you can summon an elemental, so there is that as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe we have to go looking for some. I want Wizzle.
So, our party find themselves again standing at the base of a ruined black tower. Although the map shows a tower reaching towards the heavens, the tower is basically a pile of rubble. It was mainly made of obsidian, aka volcanic glass, and it was obviously quite a feat of engineering at one point, but now it is just a pile of broken obsidian. Yeah, you're standing basically in the jungle at the base of the tower. Your boat only a few short miles away. What would you like to do?
I'm going to turn around and say, Where has our fiery little friend gone? I can't smell him anywhere. There's usually some sulfur that permeates, but there's nothing.
Punk's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I'm used to smelling rotten eggs, but till Pontos passes some gas, the odor is gone. So I don't know. I think our boy Char is a resourceful guy. He'll come back to us.
Let's see, really? He's got all our money.
Yeah, I mean, well, why don't we give him a week or so, and if he doesn't turn up, we'll sharpen our blades and go back to the city of brass.
Sounds like a plan, and if we can find him, if he spent one single piece of gold of my money, he's dead. So, shall we head back to the boat then?
Yep.
While we're heading back to the boat, I'm just going to try and sniff the air every now and again, see if I get that rotten egg smell.
So, well, it takes you nearly a day to get back to the boat. In fact, probably more than a day if it's 30 miles. But we won't worry too much about the scale or the time expended. You have a walk over to the boat. You don't smell any sulfur on the way. But you do notice, as you walk along the northern shore of the Isle of Dread, that since you defeated, perhaps since you defeated the Netherese, and also finished off the Yuan-Ti haunting the temple ruins, that the sand, which was like almost like tiny little black grains of sand, like little black glittering jewels. So that's so the beach is no longer black. Parts of it are. It's almost like the taint of the Shadow Realm is beginning to be washed away by the tide as it kind of comes up the beach, and the atmosphere of the Isle of Dread is not quite as oppressive as it once was. Also, you've managed to walk along the beach for several miles without being accosted by like 15 shadow ghasts. So it's an improvement for sure. As the boat comes into view, you notice that a number of makeshift shacks have been erected on the beach. Somebody, an industrious few members of your crew. Your crew, of course, comprises of a number of NPCs from previous campaigns, including Hawklane Thistledown, which is Kararuk's sister, Astra, who is Kararuk's friend, Fira, who is a dark elf from Pentagon, Tyr the succubus, and Skuld from the City of Brass. I really need to actually come up with some male NPCs once in a while, shouldn't I? But yes, you have this crew of fantasy babes crewing your ship, and they have built themselves a nice little a few nice little wooden crude wooden buildings on the beach, and as you approach, you see Hawklane, who is sitting in the shade, and Astra is sunbathing next to her, not in the shade, and they look over at you, and then they look at each other, and then they look over at you, and they're like, "Where the bloody hell have you been?"
You don't even want to know.
We've been waiting for weeks.
Yeah, we got sucked into the Shadow Realm.
Huh. Don't they have any message spells in the Shadow Realm?
I'm afraid not. And the scrawny, red, nerdy guy we hang out with? He didn't make it back.
Skuld appears out of a small wooden building made with the carefully harvested planks from palm trees. Comes out and says, "What? Char didn't make it? Oh no!"
He's not dead. He just got banished back to the plane of fire.
Oh. Well, that's all right then. I'm sure he'll just have a nice holiday and then make his way back whenever he's ready.
He did say that he was going to look for a special ring for special lady.
She just kind of raises an eyebrow and just carries on with what she's doing. So, I take it we are not taking up permanent residence on this Isle of Dread. What's the plan now?
I think we need to go back to Fairwick and report our findings to the Lord of Fairwick. And, then we're going to head over and try to find Pontos' third leg at Grimrock.
Right, very good. So everyone gets up, picks up their stuff, and before long you are all on the boat and ready to go. Conveniently, the tide is in your favour, and you are able to leave the island without too much difficulty. Let's turn the boat around.
So I'm going to say to you, I can't remember her name now. Char's Mrs. Soon to be Mrs. Yeah. Let's see. Is there any way you can get a message to Char back in his plane of fire?
Not easily. Why? What do you want to say to him?
Just to hurry up and get back to you, and if he spends any of our money, he's in trouble.
Oh, he's got all your loot, has he?
Oh yes.
You will not see him for a long time.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure he will make a report to the master, and then who knows? Let's mind our own business for now. After a brief sail from the Isle of Dread to the port attached to Fairwick, you arrive. I have lost the map marker. Here it is. Cha-ching. I need to make a new map marker. That looks very dowdy considering the amazing graphic design skills that I have developed since I made that one. And I'm very what's the word? Very modest as well. So you are in the Fairwick port. Are you heading straight to the palace, or are you up to other stuff? Assume that you are fully healed, etc. Spell starts back, all that sort of thing.
Yep, I think we'll just head on up to Fairwick.
Cool. Okay, so Fairwick is a little way from the port. You get there towards the end of the day. The guards recognize you and allow you to pass, and you find yourselves quite quickly in the presence of the Lord Melarn, who is the immortal master of the of Fairwick, tasked as a sentinel awaiting the return of darkness, and his daughter is also there. His daughter is a little less regal, shall we say. His daughter's name is Eladrith. That's it. And yes, they invite you to an audience, which also doubles as a bit of a banquet, welcoming you back, so you are able to share a repast. The wines of Fairwick are excellent. They are both strong and sweet, and only very slightly hallucinogenic. What would you like to say to your host?
Aye, sir. Thank you for having us in your hall.
You are most welcome.
I'll have you know that we have cleared out the threats from the Isle of Dread. Frankly, I think it'll need a new name, for the Yuan-Ti and the Netherese curse has been lifted.
I am somewhat impressed. Of course, my watchers reported that the Obsidian Tower had fallen down some time ago, and after you didn't come back imminently, I had tended to assume that you had all died horribly, but I'm just as glad that you didn't. And you have completed my mission, you say?
Indeed.
Very good. Weren't there
I'm gonna.
more of you before?
Yes, we have this shrimpy friend named Char. You'll remember him. He's red and smells like rotten eggs. Unfortunately, he was banished to the plane of fire. We,
Had
yeah,
he
we. Oh, go ahead.
had he done something to upset you, that you banished him thus?
No, I didn't banish him. It was a bit of a miscommunication when we were being sent back here. A servant of the Raven Queen sent him to his home plane, which is the plane of fire, rather than here, the prime material plane.
Oh. Well, that is a shame. Unless, of course, you didn't like him, in which case, not such a problem.
No, he's a good guy.
Ah. Well, I must say, this is cause for celebration, and we could do with a cause to celebrate at the moment. Yes, in your absence, strange things have occurred.
Indeed.
Yes. Were you about to say something, Chris? I think I might have cut you off.
That's all right. I was just going to bow to Lord's daughter and do a little wink, very much, and say it was a mighty battle. We were outnumbered 10-1 at one point, but the team, they were all engaged in this big, massive battle, and the odds were looking grim. And by ye gods, I don't know what come over me, but I charged in there like a devil, and I slay hundreds of beasts, and I saved our party. And I'm just going to bow and give a little wink.
Oh, I think we had better have a performance check to see how well you managed to, or a deception check if you prefer, whichever you think is the most appropriate. So you're either exaggerating or lying.
It's definitely lying.
Okay, give us a deception roll. Let's see how impressed she is. 19. Okay. So that's not bad. She's like, oh, that's very heroic. You seem a bit different. I could have sworn you had a hungry look, a fell aura, before you left, and now you seem just like a normal wood elf.
I've always been normal. I think, things that some people see, that Isle of Dread, it was a really scary place. And I'm looking at the rest of the audience chamber now, and I am going to say, look, we've done a massive service here. We did not know how bad it was going to be, the horrors we were going to see. I only hope that our kind Lord here is going to be as generous as he proclaims to be with our reward. And I'm just going to.
As you're talking, Eladrith is looking at your. To start with, she's listening to you, and then she starts. You notice her eye line moves slightly from your face to just above one of your shoulders, and she increasingly has this kind of wide-eyed expression. She's like, "What's that crawling up your shoulder?" as a black tentacle kind of goes up and over your shoulder, and the Cthulhu kitty hauls itself up into the kind of the crook of your neck.
I forgot about it. This is my new pet, Doom, who I picked up in the Isle of Dread. He needed saving.
Is it safe?
Yes, of course it's safe. We have an understanding. If he tries to kill me or my friends, he's a goner.
Right.
Don't stick it to him.
Okay. Do keep an eye on it. Don't let it off on its own.
No, of course not. And I'm just going to pet him. Do you want to hold him?
No, emphatically not. Thank you. She sort of moves her chair slightly to get further away from the Cthulhu kitty. So, Lord Melarn has heard your not entirely subtle offer for redress, and he says, yes. Well, the completion of such an age-old mission surely does require the reward, a king's ransom no less. I shall most certainly shower you with treasure. But another issue appears to have arisen. And he looks rather he looks absent-mindedly off into the middle distance for a moment. Yes. I wonder, have you been to Arrowtide yet since you returned?
No.
Yes, I seem to remember. It was your party that instigated the elevation of a new leader among the Arrowtiders. You put paid to that villain Northcliffe Spaulding. And yes, a fair election, I believe. Put someone else into his place. Well, for a time. Oh, okay. Yes, for a time. Relations thawed a little. We had. Okay, right. So, quick reminder. So this may have been during your brief hiatus, Nate. The party gathered that there was some tension between Fairwick and Arrowtide. Fairwick, of course, are the makers of fine wines and magic items, and they also create what are called Fairwick lanterns, which are special magic lanterns that allow you to fish these waters. And the Arrowtiders, they fish the waters for dire anglerfish who are attracted to the Fairwick lanterns. So without Fairwick lanterns, it's incredibly dangerous to try and fish in these waters, because the fish just eat the cannon, eat the ship's guns, and eat the crew and everything. They are vicious. But yes, but the Fairwick gave or at least rented these lanterns to the Arrowtiders. Northcliffe Spaulding was kind of skimming the profits, if you like, and blaming it on Fairwick. So to improve relations between the two towns, which are kind of in a bit of a symbiotic relationship, the party found somebody that the Arrowtiders would like as a substitute for Northcliffe Spalding, and I am just trying to remember his name. He is called Whitlock Goldtooth Morton. So Whitlock Morton is, as far as you know, the leader of Arrowtide. I think that probably covers that little arc, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the bit I guess you didn't cover is I was all for just killing him and get it done with. I think Char was much more diplomatic. And that's why we had the election and everything.
I can't actually remember what happened to Northcliffe Spalding. I'm going to have to try and find the episode and remind myself. But he is, needless to say, he is no longer troubles anyone. So, the Lord Fairwick continues to explain that he has noticed a change in the Arrowtiders. Relations thawed a little, and then got rapidly worse, with there being more incidences of human and elf altercations, and a few elves. There are guards in the pass between the two peaks, who are not necessarily there to prevent people travelling, but they are there to keep an eye on who travels to Fairwick. So they're just there as lookouts, and some of them have gone missing. So elven guards, high elf guards have gone missing at night. And yes, there has been a huge uptick in hostility between from humans against the elves of Fairwick. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so is what you're saying, sir, that you need us to sort this out?
Well, I would certainly consider it a great boon. Yes, things have become dire. I mean, we originally had a great purpose, one which we no longer have to carry. Now it seems the most important thing to deal with is relations between our respective settlements. Yes, I believe that Morton has taken a new bride, and it seems like not long after the nuptials were completed, things seem to take a rapid turn for the worse.
Okay. We can definitely go and have a look and investigate. I'm going to look at Pontos and I think King. See, is this something we should be doing? Do you think this? Are we international relation menders now, Deep and Pontos?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, what do you think, Pontos?
He's just going to grunt with a let's do it.
Okay. Sure you don't want to go get your foot first?
Nah. I can wait for that.
Okay, then we'll gladly have a look, my lord. But I'd also like to see these treasures you intend to bestow upon us, though obviously none of them will be as beautiful as your daughter. We would still like to reap our rewards for past deeds.
Very well. So Eladrith snorts. Brilliant. And Lord Melarn says, very well. You must. I was not expecting you to come back today. You must give me a little time to pull your reward together. We will. the Lord's Council of Fairwick will discuss what we can give you. But I promise you, it shall be a worthy reward for such a great endeavor. I wonder, if you're going to Arrowtide, perhaps you could take one of my advisors with you.
Yes, that should be fine, and maybe I should leave my cat Doom here, just so you can get to know the place. So keep an eye on you, make sure you're not attacked from anyone.
Is that thing safe? Don't bring it any closer. That's close enough. Of course, we elves enjoy pets. There are many humans living here, but that creature has a most unsavory expression. One moment. Eldrith, will you go and find Yorl, please? Eldrith is only too pleased to leave the presence of the terrifying Cthulhu cat Doom, and she runs off down a corridor lined with doors, and after a few minutes she comes back with another elf. The other elf, if I can not accidentally open the right click menu, the other elf looks a bit like this. So she is a platinum-haired high elf wearing green wizardly robes. But I shall ask someone else to give me a more in-depth description of this person. And that person is Kev. Can you tell us about Yorl?
Yeah. Okay. So you see a in human terms, they look like they're probably in their early 30s. So elven years, probably into. They've definitely celebrated their 200th birthday by now and beyond. Seems, while wearing a formal, loose-fitting robe over her shoulders and that, underneath you can see quite practical attire for moving around and not being too not just sort of a pair of slippers and some silk trousers kind of situation. In their hand, you see them carrying a large white wooden staff with a lot of runes all the way down, and a small crystal floating just like a half inch or so just above the top of the staff. We'll go from that from now.
Cool. Yorl, thank you for coming. I wonder, would you go with the Crimson Dirks here? They're a group of adventurers. We are somewhat in their debt. They have done a great service to us. They have defeated the Netherils that we always feared would return. So we are free, free of our burdens. It seems now that we must,
certainly. These are the ones that brought down the tower the other week. Then are they?
Indeed, yes.
Fascinating. I've wondered what happened to that. That's extraordinary. Please, you'll have to tell me what you encountered. All the years of training that I've done, I never fully got a chance to try what I'd been preparing all my life for. But anyway, nice to meet you all. And she sort of walks towards Calrook. And well, obviously you must be the leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Yorl Strandweaver. And your name is?
Well, you're welcome. My name is Kariruk Thistledown, and I would not say I'm the leader of this crew, but I'm definitely the most courageous. And yeah,
He's sort of casting the eye over the two dwarves and the orc, going, well, you must obviously be the brains, if nothing else. But no, it's great to meet you all.
And the brains.
Well, great to meet you too.
Bloody dwarf.
The sooner we get on the road, the better.
Yeah. Do you know the way, Yorl?
Well, sort of, I've travelled round this island many times. Obviously, due to the perpetual threat that was from the Netherlands, we were never allowed to go too far. That's the whole point of everything I've been trained and brought up with, was to help combat their arcane threats. I've mastered combining several of the magical schools to aid in this process.
Okay. Let's start this journey, and if things start going a bit nuts and a bit violent, hide behind Pontos here, the man with the muscles, or the orc with the muscles and the funny limp, and we'll get you to where we need to go.
Oh, certainly. If you please excuse me, I will just get my things together. I just caught me a bit ill prepared. I was in the library just doing some research. By the time you finish your meal, I'll have everything together. I will meet you in the courtyard.
Fantastic. But before you go, let me quickly introduce you to the other members of our motley crew.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we've got our king here. This is King Deep. He is courageous. His stature does not match his stamina. And we've got Pontos here, who
he seems to be seriously wounded. Hopefully he's not prone to taking any more hits like that.
Yes, let's hope not. He's not very good when it comes to hopping or skipping, but yes, he is a mighty fellow with a mighty stature. Unfortunately, his IQ does not match his.
Every muscle bar, the important one. I see. Anyway, and the final person.
This is there's two. There's Borin, who's our little dwarf friend. Again, he's an interesting character. He's very dwarfish, very dwarfish. I'll leave it at that. And obviously we've got Doom, my new pet, who looks like he's taking a liking to you.
What a fascinating creature! I will definitely have to study him at some point. Well, it's nice to meet you all. Like I said, my name is Yorl. Hopefully, this will be a nice, easy little visit over Arrowtide. But we'll see what things we uncover. Anyway, if you please excuse me, I will just go get my stuff, and she will sort of nod her head to each of you, and bow deeply to Lord Melarn, and then as she turns around, she's sort of almost quite brisk walk skip as she's leaving the room down the corridor.
Turn to Pontos and Deep and go, well, that's interesting.
Yep, you lose a Char, you get a Char.
I think this one might be an upgrade. This one might be able to hit something.
Rule. All right, let's get a move on. This mayor isn't gonna murder himself.
Okay, so Despite that it is the evening, you begin to make your way towards Arrow Tide, the very same day. It is approximately. Don't pay any attention to the scale of this map.
Yeah, I will say after your meal, as you go into the courtyard to leave, you do hear a call from above, and you see Yorl descend on sitting quite comfortably on a small piece of a couple of feet square piece of fabric. Behind her is a large chest just resting on there as well. All right, I've got all my stuff. When do we set off?
Right now, milady.
Excellent.
If you look at the map, our icon has already reached Arrowtide.
That's the quickest I've ever journeyed there.
So you pass on the way some wary-looking high elf guards who have haunted expressions, and as you pass, they say, good evening, and farewell to you, Lady Yorl. And as you approach Arrowtide, you see a few lamps, but not as many as you would expect. And as you find your way towards the centre of the town, you see very few people in the streets. Arrowtide, as you know previously, is it's basically a port town full of fishermen and pirates, and it is basically, in previously there were always people about, always people doing things. There was music and entertainment and tavern brawls and people playing games. I can't remember what the game Pontos did was. It was hurling some object, I suspect. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was pie eating at one point, and probably pig tossing or something again.
Yeah, something like that. But yes, so the place is surprisingly quiet. But you do see that there are lights on in the mayoral manor. If I can find a picture of it.
I'd already forgotten how grimy and messy and disorganised this town is. It's never been the neatest of places, but I've never known it this quiet and dark before. Mate, has everyone gone to bed already?
The mayoral manor looks very inviting.
I think the mayor might be a vampire.
Nuke it from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
Good lord. Who did you guys get elected? What were you thinking?
He seemed okay at the time.
Yeah, your new mayor, Count Dracula. All right, wooden stake sharpened, boys. We're going in.
Let me count the ships as they're coming to harbour. 1, 2, 3 ships.
I love to count.
Oh wait, could this be the work of emo Carrie Rook? Didn't he get away?
Yes, but he was a boy, not a woman.
I'm sorry. Who?
Oh, our friend here has an evil twin. You can tell because he's very emo.
Well, I can see your group's leader does seem to like wearing a lot of dark, but I wouldn't call him emo.
Right, his evil twin is the emo one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to bear that in mind.
Have you ever seen those old episodes of Star Trek where like evil Kirk would have a mustache? It's like that, but with emo clothing.
An evil Bender as well from Futurama.
Yeah, Evil Kirk had more eyeliner on as well, didn't he? I say more eyeliner, as opposed to eyeliner, because I think Captain Kirk wore a fair bit. But yeah. So are you heading towards the mayoral manor?
Yeah, I think we should go say hi to our friend.
Okay.
I mean, this is like the political donors, coming in for dinner.
So I may have made the edges of the map slightly too big, but you're standing in front of the thing. Hold on. Let's shift ping. It's not shift pinging. Why are you not shift pinging? How very dare you?
Yeah. Well, I don't think me knocking on the door would probably be good based on recent situation between our towns. If I'll just stand back and see you guys in action. I believe you have some previous relationship with this mayor anyway.
Yeah,
my dear lady.
We need a smooth operator. Why don't you take care of this, Karuk?
I'm just going to stroke my knife and say, okay.
Let Borin do it.
Yeah, Borin. I'm going to go knock on the door.
Very good. Oh, blimey, you've got hardly any hit points. I am just going to do a quick refresh of my browser because it is misbehaving a little bit.
Who are you talking about the low hit points?
Kararuk.
Oh, right.
Did we get a long rest in?
Yes,
Yeah,
you did. Yeah. So go ahead and give yourself a long rest if there's anything that needs topping up.
I will say, if and when any of you guys have to control Yorl, then you'll see what low hit points are. The world of mages.
What do you mean?
See how
She's got
little I
loads.
have?
Yeah, wizards only roll a d6 for health.
I remember when it was a D4.
And only a d4, and you were happy to have that.
Okay, why is this happening? I'm getting some severe chug.
I'm just going to say, Yoro, as part of the Crimson Dirks, you need to stand front and centre. You're part of our team.
Well, yes, as I said, I don't think, due to the current situation, having a representative of Fairwick at this time of night knocking on the door would necessarily be good for opening relations. So I hope you understand.
Yeah, of course.
I thought you would. You do seem to be of a fairly smart disposition.
So Kararuk knocks on the door. And standing inside the door of the mayoral mansion, you see your old pal, Whitlock Norton, who is a venerable, I shall describe him as, a venerable pirate, an old sea captain. Well, I think he's probably not officially a pirate, but he has done his days as a fisherman and possibly done a bit of piracy too, but he is well respected. And next to him you see a younger woman, And if I can make it blow up, yeah, there we go. She is clearly half his age, if not younger.
Good boy.
And she is wearing a very nice dress, nice off the shoulder number. It makes you think of I don't know, like a Greek toga or something. And Whitlock Norton, he says, "Ah, well, hello there. It's been a while since I laid eyes on you. How you been getting on? Why don't you come inside and we can well, have a drink, maybe some food."
That sounds fantastic.
Very good.
How are you getting on as we go inside?
Oh, well, let me tell you all about it once we get inside. Right. So, sit yourself down at the table. Me and the wife. This is my wife here. This is Shanisha. She's the apple of my eye. And has brought such warmth and daylight into the autumn of this old man's life.
Sorry, what was the wife's name?
Shanisha. Shanisha. Which is...
Okay.
But yes, he invites you to take a seat. He sits down at the table, and Shanisha sits opposite him. Please, don't be shy. Come on in. I suppose you better bring that Fairwick elf in with you. Never let it be said that Whitlock is not generous with his hospitality.
Do you have any slop for the pig?
Oh, I'm sure he could manage something. I have not made tokens for any servants, but servants there are. There are a few people. They're not posh servants. They are. There is a young lad who is standing by the side of the room. He is kind of topping up drinks and doing things like that. And there are a couple of skinny girls who look like they are possibly maids, and they are kind of cleaning things, polishing the table, and looking rather miserable.
Do you want to bring Pontos in?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Don't worry, no worries.
Why is he not in?
Is he jammed?
No, I got him. There we go.
Good. Right. It is a little bit early for a break, but I have a little bit of a lurgy at the moment while my throat is like razor blades. So I reckon if we have 10 minutes now, that'll give me a chance to go and mainline some Lemsip. So let's come back at about 10 o'clock, give or take, and then we shall continue. Let me find the button that changes the screen, and of course we will leave it recording so that we can turn the airwaves blue in between. Right, I'll catch you guys in a few minutes.
No worries, no worries.
Bed, guys.
Yeah, no problem. You take care, mate.
I'll be with you next week if we're on next week.
Yep, perfect.
No worries.
Alright, Sam guys. See you later.
Have a good evening. Hope you sleep
you.
alright.
Thank you. See if she sleeps.
Be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, after what happened, me and John had to kind of get creative. And it's like, right, okay, Char's there. What can we do? Like, right, okay, we'll do this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's interesting. It's always wish them back or something, you know. There's options.
Well, this is true, but that relies on. I don't want to.
I don't wish.
I don't want to force that on Michael at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. It's quite a big thing having that wish. I was reading up on it and like, that's pretty powerful. That is.
It is, but it does have a lot of drawbacks or potential drawbacks as well. If you read it all, you can potentially forget the spell. You do take some strength penalties and potentially take damage if you're casting spells for a little while as well. So it's unbelievably powerful if you use it correctly, but it does have some drawbacks too. But so again, based on the current setup of the rest of the party, I opted to give you some, continue giving you some utility range support. Because it's like, oh, should I go barbarian? Well, don't really need to with Borin and Pontos there, and say for a monk or a paladin, all that kind of stuff. So it's like,
that's cool. We'll see what she can do.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just thought for the last week, it was something to do while I was in on holiday with my folks of sitting there creating her and a bit of background and trying to level her up accordingly.
That's pretty interesting. I think I might. I don't know if it's too late for me to try and multiclass to be a bard as well, I suppose.
The only prerequisite is, what's your charisma?
Oh, actually, give me a second. My charisma, spit up the bar, is 12.
Oh, you can't do it. You have to have a charisma of 13.
I do have a +1 to it as well.
Any multi classes, you need a base score of 13 on certain stats for different classes.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, because 10 is your average person, so it's like you're more charismatic than the average person. Hence why you're an entertainer, because you can keep people's interest and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, with your decks, there's a few other potential classes you could go, but I don't know what the rest of your stats are like. If your wisdom's high enough for other classes, but then again, at level 12, if and when we do level up, at level 12, I'm not sure what you get as a rogue for your bonus. It might be a bit more in your sneak attack. No, level 12 it's a stat increase or a feat at level 12, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean, you could set it up ready for, say, when we get to level 13. Yeah, if you just went, okay, I'll go +2 in charisma, so your charisma 14, and then you're set. If you wanted to go that way, I'm not saying what to do, but that's what you could do.
Well, that's an option. Yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah, but yeah, Yorel is definitely not the mouthpiece compared to what Char could be. So because warlocks need a good charisma for their spell casting. Ural doesn't.
It'll be interesting, isn't it?
But yeah, as she's trotting around, she's just sitting there quite happily on her little carpet because she's a fairly powerful spellcaster. Why would she walk around when she can do it by magic?
Yeah, she'll fly everyone around.
No, it's not. It's not a big one. It's not like a little 3-seater flying carpet. It's for her and her alone.
I think she can take Doom for a little ride as well.
Possibly Doom. Oh, who's a good little Cthulhu kitty? Who's a good little Cthulhu kitty? Yes, you are.
So, I don't really know too much about Cthulhu kitties, but I'm guessing they're not good.
I don't know either.
I don't think leaving the Cthulhu kitty with common folk is a good idea. I think that's going to end up with a lot of dead common folk.
That'd be alright.
Either that, or he's the best mouser this town has ever seen.
He's not big, I think.
Yeah, but with all those tentacles, he might be really good at mousing.
Yeah, exactly. Send him down the sewers, catch some rats.
No, Doom, that's a crocodile. Put that back.
So what are Cthulhu kitties?
This is something John has found from somewhere. I don't recognise it from the standard books. So God only knows.
We'll soon find out, yes.
Hello, I have returned.
Hello.
Part 2 will be...
You might want to just give someone access for Pontos because I've got borrowed.
Oh, yep, okay. Part 2 will be sponsored by Cherry Hall Soothers.
Well, speaking of which, I just left my drink over the side.
What was I doing? Pontos. So Pontos is currently able to be controlled by 2 people who are not here. So, who would like to look after Pontos?
Why don't you take it, Rook?
I can try. I've not really done multi-class attack fighters before with a pig. But, yeah.
Well, Shoebreaker doesn't seem to be in this dining hall, so it's only Pontos you have to worry about.
Cool.
So for some reason Pontos' character sheet is not displaying the same as his token, so I'm going to hit the long rest button. Make sure he's got all his hit points back. Let's pop Pontos here where the chair is, rather than having everyone clustered around the other side of the table. And Chris should be able to control Pontos.
Yes.
So, I mean, we let's okay. So, what am I doing? I've got a little unread message spot on. Oh, there we go. I sometimes wish that we could share the Discord chat on the recording as well, but there's not really space on the screen for it.
Well, and that's our private chat.
This is true.
It's quite funny to do.
Right, I'm going to make this book here disappear. Look, look, look! Kev, it's a notebook!
Yeah, it's a It's an actual bit of
There's
paper and
there's
old-fashioned
words written on it.
notepad, pen.
Yep. Yeah, every now and then I get that book out and I write a few pages of notes and then I don't look at it again for months. So,
But while I was all quiet at the start, I was able to go through, hit this, and look up what episode it was with the voting, so you could look back if you needed to.
very helpful. Thank you for that. What I might do is actually, and this sounds insane, but I might actually go back through and watch all the old episodes and then backfill my notes.
Crazy talk.
Yeah, that's kind of like the D&D equivalent of reading old exercise books from, last year's exercise books from when you were at school or something, isn't it? Kind of.
Yep.
No, that's all done with. Look only to the future.
Or either that, or you'll rewatch it and go, "Why did we do it like that?" Or, "Oh, I could have done that so much better now."
Yes, it might be torture. Yes, in some ways, I'm quite glad that we didn't record any of the earlier sessions, because I think the aesthetic has definitely improved. So, and hopefully everything else has too. But let us resume. So you find yourselves in the Melarn manor or mansion. The picture that I showed you clearly has floors above the ground floor, but but for the time being, I haven't got any upper floors, so don't worry about that for now. Don't just embrace the paradox that this is a mayoral manor that is also a bungalow. So, you are seated around a fine dining table with Whitlock Morton and his youthful bride Shanishar, and he says, "Well, what have you been up to since you helped me to get elected as the mayor of Arrowtide?"
As he says that, you see Yorl just staring a little bit wide-eyed at this revelation at the rest of the group.
My dear Whitlock, we've been very, very, very busy. We've travelled to the Isle of Grads, we've banished the Netheril, we've lifted the curse from this land, all while in a heroic pose. So we've been quite busy. What's happened here in Arrowtide seems to be different.
Well, once we got rid of that nefarious, I've forgotten his name. I think I'm going to have to dispense with the pirate voice because my throat is absolutely ruined. And I need to find the guy. And what's his name? His name is Northcliffe Spalding.
Old pirate.
Yeah.
Since we got rid of Northcliffe Spalding, Arrowtide has gone from strength to strength, but with no thanks to those dishonest elves on the other side of the valley. Shanishar nods sagely, as if in agreement, and Whitlock sort of deliberately avoids the eye of Yorl, who is clearly one of those elves to which he refers.
Dishonest in what way? I believe all agreements have been fair and just for many a year. It has been through the misuse of the lanterns from Arrowtide that has caused issues in the past. But I believe with you in charge that things were meant to be improving.
Well, to start with, we reached out and renewed old bonds of friendship with the elves, and then things carried on as they always had, with the elves looking down on us from their lofty palaces and with, you know, no help for the poor humans of the Isle, and no room to expand. We feel like our best days are behind us, and it's all the fault of those nefarious elves. I've made it my mission to make Arrowtide great again. And
how's that going? As I play with my elven ear.
So Shanashar kind of says, "Here, here," and Whitlock kind of looks over slightly guiltily and says, "Well, we look forward to a future as great as anything in our past. But, well, let's not talk of politics. Let us celebrate to Arrowtide." And he knocks back his glass of some kind of spirit, probably rum. Dark rum is what he's drinking. The bottle is passed around. You are offered whatever you would like to drink.
Deep.
Oh, nice. Go on.
I was just saying, Deep's not drinking.
Okay. Is Borin? Would Borin have a drink?
Oh,
I'm sure.
If booze is getting passed around, yeah, he will quite happily take a mug of whatever's getting passed around and probably neck it.
Cool. So what about what about Pontos? Is he a boozer?
100%. There's no way Pontos is going to say no to a free drink. Come on. He likes chucking pigs around in a pub. He likes drink.
Cool. What about Kararuk?
I'm going to excuse me. I need to use the facilities, and I'm going to excuse myself from the table and ask one of the serving people to show me the way.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I didn't put a bathroom in the map. Okay, so...
That's how we can pretend it's one.
Well, pretend that there's a bathroom. So you are shown to a small room towards the back of the house, which has a... I'm not sure if it's actually a plumbed flushing toilet, but it is actually quite posh for the standards of a Caribbean, a desert island. Obviously, it's not really Caribbean.
So on the way to the toilets, I'm going to ask the serving person what's actually happening in this house. Tell me more about the lady of the house, please.
So the person you are speaking to is probably a 13 or 14-year-old girl, very, very slender, looks possibly even a bit malnourished, and her eyes are very wide, and her mouth looks very small. You know, she's just kind of looks at you with a fearful expression, and she says, "Oh, I can't talk out of turn about the mistress."
Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone. I think there's something not quite right here. I'll make it worth your while.
She looks about, but I'll get into trouble.
I'm going to get one of my gold coins out, because I still get gold coins. You know, see, this should ease any trouble you get into. I promise that I won't say anything.
Her eyes go wide as she looks at the coin, and she looks up at your face, and she looks at the coin, and she takes the gold coin in a tiny hand, which actually makes the coin look ludicrously big, given how skinny and small she is. She tucks the coin into a little pocket in her shift, and says, "Well, it's weird. I used to look after the house for Mayor Spaulding, and there were rats. Loads of rats. In the basement, on the landing, under the bed sometimes. Now there aren't any. Haven't seen a rat for ages. And in the servants' quarters, tucked away at the back, where the GM hasn't made them, I don't know, it's always so cold, and it's very creepy as well. We all sleep like the dead because we're so tired, but we never feel any better when we wake up."
And do you have any strange visitors?
Strange visitors? What do you mean?
Maybe sort of out of towners, or I mean, how did the lady of the house get here?
I don't know. No, not long after Whitlock, not long after Mr. Morton took over, she turned up knocking at the door. She apparently had been rescued by a fisherman. She'd been I don't know, fallen off a galleon or something. I don't know. Strange story.
Tragic.
But she...
Thank you.
Okay. She dashes off before anyone notices that she's not attending to her duties.
I'll go back to the table and sit down and join in any chat.
Okay. So a bit of small talk has gone round the table while Kararuk was away. The lady of the house is quite quiet. She occasionally will pass a comment in support of her husband. She is sipping at some kind of amber-coloured spirit. Whitlock is clearly in his cups. You get the impression that he is probably quite often in his cups, so to speak. And, you know, this may not even be the first bottle today, let alone this week. He says, you must all stay the night. I've got 4 beautiful double guest rooms. I imagine you dwarves could double up, maybe?
Sure, what the hell?
Mistress Yarl, she can have a room to herself, although I'm sure it won't be up to the standard she's used to.
Part of the excitement of venturing over was to see how other people cope in these times. Not a problem.
Right. Well. So what are you doing here? What will you be doing? Now you've had so many adventures. What's the plan next? Will you be going to the mainland? Or will you stay here and help us build something?
I think we're planning on finally locating our friend's missing foot. But you mentioned building something. What kind of architecture do you have planned?
Oh, I speak metaphorically, of course, Master Dwarf. Your Majesty, I should say. We'll be trying to build a greater arrow tide for our children. First, we'll need a larger fishing fleet, and maybe other ships too. Maybe a few warships.
Indeed. On whom are you hoping to wage war?
Oh, we don't hope to wage war on anyone. We just want to protect our own.
I'm sure if you organised a suitable agreements, and with the Lord Melarn, he would be able to assist in the protection of all on this island. But while these disagreements continue, I doubt that he would see providence to do this. It is in everyone's favour if we just discuss this as adults rather than all that's been going on recently.
Aye, well, I'm sure Lord Melarn can protect us from others. But who will protect us from Lord Melarn should his eye fall upon us?
It is just xenophobic and paranoid delusions there. We have always been friendly to you humans in Arrowtide.
Well, I feel like it might be time for me to retire. Please, the bedroom's on this floor. Help yourselves. My good lady and I shall go upstairs to our the master bedroom on the first floor. If you need anything, please call the servants. And the stairs, which are not on the map, but imagine there are some stairs, they go off upstairs, leaving you in the dining room, which is also like the hallway, if you like. Unless you want to say anything to them before they depart, of course, in which case I shall make them come back again.
Nothing Yorl has, really.
Yeah. Is Kararuk back at the table now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get a chance, maybe go upstairs and see what they're up to up there. I worry it's not the simple marital bliss that one might imagine.
Yes, I shall do that. But I've also got to tell you about the rats, or the lack of rats. I'll tell them a story that the servant told me about being in a dark place behind the servants' quarters and not resting and stuff. There's definitely something fishy happening here, my friends.
This is very curious, but may I first ask, what in the name of all of the gods were you thinking assisting this individual to be the new mayor? He seems paranoid beyond any reason. He wants warships and to expand this city. This place is an eyesore at the best of times, and now he wants to expand it.
It's a growing population. They need to expand, I guess. But yeah, he wasn't like this when we left. There's something not quite right here.
If we can find out what's going on, if there is something untoward, if he's being coerced or blackmailed or some like, maybe we can resolve this. But I can't see us leaving here and leaving him still in charge like this. This is, we've dealt with, you have dealt with the Netherese, and now we've got this. It's just, I fear that if we leave it too long, my lord will just take drastic actions, and that is just something I could not bear to witness.
Yep. All right. So, if I understand you correctly, because to me, I don't know what you common folk expect, but to a king, the absence of rats is a good thing. But what you're saying is there used to be a rat's nest behind the servants' quarters, and perhaps something more foul has taken up residence down there?
Quite possibly. I think it's worth investigating. I'll go upstairs and see what's happening upstairs. What if you guys go and have a look at the rat's nest and have a little investigation down here?
Okay.
Very
Does
good,
that
very
sound-
good. Are
Sound all right?
you sure you'll be okay?
Oh, I think I might be fine. If not, you'll hear me scream.
Okay. If we hear you scream, what do we do after that?
Oh
Run
no!
and help me.
Just
Right.
follow our lead.
Right. Okay. I understand. Oh, this is exciting.
So the unseen staircase, Kararuk goes to climb it. Are you being sneaky?
I'm being very sneaky and very stealthy.
Okay, we had better have a stealth roll to see how sneaky you can be climbing up these wooden stairs. Will they creak?
Fuck.
I've rolled it. Hey.
23. That is very not bad. So, you managed to climb up the stairs without making the slightest scrap of noise. There is a long landing that wraps around the inner wall of the hall. The inner wall? The wall of the hall. The outer wall, not the inner wall. There is no inner wall. There is an inner wall. I've lost the power of speech. There are a number of bedrooms on the first... Well, there is an office on the first floor, which presumably is Whitlock's office. There is some kind of reception room which appears to be empty. There are a few other rooms, the purposes of which that you can't immediately ascertain. There's some sort of library, and then as you come around to the other side of the building, the western side, you see where the master bedroom is. The master bedroom is huge. The door was left slightly ajar, as if by someone carelessly going to bed. You see through the crack in the master bedroom door Whitlock Norton, fully clothed, face down, drooling into his pillow, with a half-drunk rum bottle spilling its contents onto the floor by the side of the bed. So he's obviously just dropped it on the floor and fallen, passed out face down on the bed. His wife is nowhere to be seen. He is dead drunk. You can smell the rum from the door, and he's like a couple of meters away, a few meters away.
Ooh, you could rob it.
I can. I'll quietly sneak into the room while looking around to see if I can see his wifey anywhere.
So there is a small ensuite. The door is open. There is nobody inside.
Okay. Is there anything on the ceiling? Is anyone hanging from the ceiling?
No one is hanging from the ceiling.
Okay. Is there anything unusual in this bedroom apart from a drunken Mia Whitlock?
Let's see. Give us a perception check.
Perception.
$22, not bad. So this gives me the opportunity to push a button here. I actually, you guys have found pornographic woodcuts, haven't you?
Excuse me?
In some of my campaigns, if people roll a really good perception roll, but I haven't planned for them to find anything, I chuck in pornographic woodcuts.
Fair enough.
And I can't remember if we've done that on Thursdays or not. But
I don't think we have.
really? Oh no! Well,
Yeah.
we've been missing out on all the fun. That started in my first Lost Mine of Fandelver campaign. Somebody critted a perception roll and there was nothing to find, so I was like, "You find a pornographic woodcut under the bed."
Is that like the one Blinking was using in Robin Hood Men in Tights when they first see him?
I haven't actually seen that.
The blind servant, and he sort of got this magazine, but it's all cut out wood carving.
Well, I have created a series of tables to randomly generate pornographic woodcuts. So I'm gonna push the button and see what Kararook discovers under the bed. Here we go. So
I'm gonna pocket it. How big is it?
I mean, it's quite a small carving.
I'm pocketing it. I'm taking it with me. Crazy people.
Wow, you just found an Easter egg, you know?
Yeah. So
I'm thinking that the dwarfs might enjoy this. It's quite close to gnomes.
yeah, there's each one of those. A lot of those things there are related to random tables which I've created. So the variations are enormous. But yes, rock gnomes and Asimar. That's very odd. I can't even imagine what that would actually look like. Anyway, yes, you find that under the bed, which tells you a great deal about the tastes of Whitlock Norton.
These sailors.
I'm not sure why it makes
the wings.
an Asimar is a a tiefling is part devil and part humanoid, usually human, but tieflings can be other races too. But an Asimar is basically a celestial and a human, so it's like sort of like an angel person, although they can be fallen Asimars, but they're still they're still basically like part angel, part human. And yeah, rock gnomes are. What are rock gnomes?
Rock gnomes are a sub part of gnomes. So you've got like forest gnomes who like more hang around in toadstools in the forest. Rock gnomes live more underground in burrows.
All right, but they're not the same as the deep gnomes, are they? I think
no, the deep gnomes, the Sphinikin or whatever, they got a really bizarre name to them, Snurf skin or whatever it was. But yeah, no, they're just more gnomes, but they live in like mounds and in burrows underground, rather than sitting on toadstools in the forest.
Cool. Right, what does Kararook do now? And
I'm going to sneak back out of the room and start looking in the offices and the other rooms.
Okay, give us another stealth roll to make sure you remain unseen. You don't need to worry too much about Whitlock. He's absolutely spannered.
I'm thinking,
so you are pretty sneaky. You are able to have a look in other rooms without raising any alarm. The office is pretty much empty, although there are ledgers open on the desk, which appear to relate to. They're like they're ledgers. It's kind of like profit and loss, that sort of thing, like the town's books. The town does not. I don't know. Does Kararuk have any understanding of accounting? I don't know. Depends whether he actually wants to look at it or not, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, he's going to look, but he doesn't really understand. He's a wood elf. He's not a Steve elf.
Okay.
Accounting's not his thing.
Cool.
He's got gold. He's happy.
Okay. So yeah, you see that there's accounting ledgers out on the desk. There are a few things that look like there might be maps of the island, which have been crudely scrawled on, to show extra buildings and things like that. Extra buildings which have not yet been built, according to your most recent visit.
What about any other rooms? Anything? Do I see anything suspicious?
Not really. The most suspicious thing seems to be the fact that Whitlock is the only person on the upper floor that you have come across.
Okay. I'll start making my way back downstairs then. See how the rest are getting on.
Cool.
Search.
Right, what's everyone doing downstairs?
I was just going to engage in sort of general small talk with the rest of the party while waiting for Kararuk. Just trying to get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah, we can just fast forward till Kararuk is back.
Cool. Okay. So Kararuk is back with you.
It's because the wife's not up the stairs. Everything else is normal. Whitlock's sprawled out in his bed, drunk as a drunken dwarf. Sorry, but it's a bit weird. There's no sign of her.
Huh.
No sign.
But I did find something for you, Deep. I'm going to give him the woodcut.
He looks at it for just a moment and then tosses it to Borin. This is more your speed, my friend.
Cool.
I won't be needing more of these disgusting items, Kararuk. I appreciate the thought, my friend, but pornography does not please a king. Now let's go find this guy's hot wife.
Cool.
Well, do we carry on or do we restart the investigation in the morning? How do these things go about?
Well, I've got a feeling this wife might be some wicked creature who has a nest behind the servants' quarters, and we're probably best off catching her in the nest. So I think we need to go right now.
Okay, so this is like sneaking, like when I was an apprentice, just at night sneaking out of the rooms to the kitchens. Oh, this is bringing back memories.
If that helps you, sure. All right, let's go.
So the room in which you find yourself, there are 5 doorways, 3 on the western side of the building, 2 on the eastern side. All of them except for one are just wood panel doors set in wooden frames. These appear to be doors to the guest bedrooms. One door is a stone arch coming to a point at the top, and that door is a heavy banded door set into the stone frame.
Which one's that?
That is this one.
Okay. Have you seen anyone go through there? I don't believe I have.
Yeah, I don't think we did, unless did any of the servants go through there?
to your knowledge, you haven't seen anybody go through that door since you've been here.
All right, that's our door. Let's go. Get the lock picks ready.
I'm gonna go and check for traps and.
As you stand next to the door, you notice a cool breeze coming from underneath it. And I've just realised that the door doesn't quite match up because suddenly something on the other side of the door has become visible. So I'm just going to very quickly try and cover up that gap.
I can't see anything.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I can just see something on the other side of it on the other view. But yes, a cold breeze is coming from a gap under the door. The gap under the door is quite wide. As gaps under doors go, so it is allowing a constant flow of cold air from under the door. It smells really bad. You can give me a.
We might find Char in here.
Yeah, it doesn't smell of rotten eggs. It's not a sulfur dioxide smell. It is quite unpleasant though.
Char doesn't smell of sulfur. He smells of cinnamon.
Well, that's what he tells himself.
Cool. So, are you going to try the door? You're checking for traps, aren't you? Right, we better have a perception roll to see whether you spot any traps. Perception. The door does not appear to be trapped, although examining it, you can clearly see that it is locked.
I'll pick the lock.
Very good. So let's have your a thieves' tools check. The lock is a well-oiled lock, and it's the kind of lock as a rogue that it's expensive, it's good, it is not super high tech, it's just a very reliable domestic lock.
No, just a button.
Has it crashed?
Don't think so, but thieves' tools are. Oh, there we go.
I'll do it.
23. Okay, that's pretty good. So that's gonna get you there. What did you roll? I think you only rolled a 5. No, you rolled a 10. 10 plus 10 plus 5. Oh, right. I do not know how to interpret that string of numbers there, but anyway, you got a 23, which is pretty good. So the lock cannot stand up to the skills of an expert rogue such as yourself, and you are able to get the lock open. The door swings free, revealing a room with a stone floor. Clearly, this part of the building is a little bit older. You can see a stone balcony which kind of rings off. Ring is not the right word. Separates off a stairwell in the center of the room going downwards. It is fairly obvious to you that the cold draft is coming from the stairwell and whatever lies below. This could be the basement that the servants were mentioning, or the servant mentioned.
I'm just going to wave to the rest of the squad and say, after you guys.
Okay, can I have a marching order for the stairs, please? Who is going first?
Borin will take the lead.
Hell yeah. Then either Kararuk or Pontos.
Okay.
Pontos.
Borin. So I've just pulled out Borin, and he only had 56 hit points when I pulled him out, and I've just opened his character sheet and I put him out again, and now he's got all his hit points back. Okay, so Borin, then Pontos, was that?
Yeah.
Then,
Kararuk.
then Kararuk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. But Yoro moved up there. Deep
move out of
is
the way,
going to
Don.
sweep to make sure nobody falls behind.
Okay. So is that? Oh, I see. Deep at the back, and is that Yorl in the middle?
Master Carrick did say to keep behind this big hunk of muscle of an orc, so I was just following what you advised earlier.
Sensible. For some reason, when I pulled out Yorl, it did not remember the token settings I set up, so I'm just very quickly going to fix her. Or at least try to. Please stop doing that, you bastard. I've definitely already done this. I'm not imagining it. Hopefully it will remember. Update default token. Save settings. So hopefully when I pull her out again, it will remember. Yes, I think it will. Okay. So, I am going to move the ribbon. There is a new page tray on Roll20, which I'm not entirely used to using yet. And it's locked up. Right, I'm going to close my browser window and open up a new one because something is weird. Something weird is happening. It seems to be chugging a bit today.
I'm getting super fast broadband soon. Fiber.
Have you tried to turn it off and on again?
So, sadly, what I've discovered is I've got gigabit broadband and a pretty powerful gaming PC, and even so, I still get chugging from a browser app like Roll20. It is absurdly resource intensive. Although I think part of the issue is probably more what's happening at the other end rather than what's happening here. So let me move that ribbon. Is it going to let me? There we go. It has let me. So I'm going to shift ping. So Borin is at the bottom of the stairs, with Pontos, Yorl, Kararuk, and Deep bringing up the rear. You probably can't see it because your tokens are on it, but this is the stairs going down and around. This is a cold cellar room. It looks like a crypt. There are two doors. One here. One here. And there are a multitude of little bones on the floor.
I think I know where all the rats went, and then Boris says he just sort of goes over to this door. Shall we find this nest then? And he's going to open. Yeah, come on, open the door. Come on. Oh, blasted thing's locked. Elf.
Let me past. Let me past.
Come on, be useful, Elf.
Go have a look at the lock again. I'm going to check for traps first. I don't want to close on it.
Yoro, you might want to stand back. Sometimes when he's checking the doors, they explode.
Oh, that sounds quite dangerous. Yes, you. Thank you for the advice.
There's going to be a marriage. So, I'm going to try and unlock the door then. These tools. Attribute dexterity.
Oh, very good. So, Kararuk, so Kararuk's thieves' tools make short work of the lock. Sadly, he was not paying proper attention. He was overexcited with his excitement to unlock the door, and he misses a needle trap in the locking mechanism of the door. It has been cleverly rigged to stab whoever tries to pick the lock with a poisoned needle. So I'm going to get you to take a Constitution saving throw, please.
I did have a
Oh dear.
I have a cloak, I believe. Give me 1 second. Dying cloak. That's not maybe not. Never mind.
So, you feel quite ill. You have been poisoned for 26 points of poison damage.
Can I use my where is it? Oh, is it? Uncanny dodge on that?
Not really,
Oh.
because it wasn't an attack. It was a trap that got you good. You do have the green dragon cloak. Does that do anything?
No, it's for stealth checks and wood and stuff.
Gives the wearer immunity to the poison condition and advantage on saves against poison damage. So that means that you can actually. Did you take that check with advantage? Take your con save again, and we will take the better result. Oh, okay. Looks like you're taking the lot.
Awesome. That's 26 in it.
So you are standing on top of Pontos. Let's move Pontos out of the way.
So
Okay.
Step back. Oh, you little bugger! Just jabbed me. I'm stepping back and say, but it is open. Go for it. I'm looking at this poison dart that's in me. I'm going to take it out and see if I can reuse it.
Well,
Stupid. I thought you could see these things nowadays. Oh, it's nice to be back underground again, though.
You're talking in Boren's voice. I was gonna say, why is Yoro glad to be under?
I miss Frenchie. He understood me. He I know he was a devil, but he had a good heart somewhere in him.
so this room stinks.
Like rotten eggs?
Not like rotten eggs. This room smells awful. It smells like things have died in it. and things may well have died in it. There are small bones. There are a few human bones as well. It is clearly, or was clearly, some kind of cellar or crypt. It is quite cool down here, but the foul stench is pervasive. You can see scattered about the room a number of coffins. 6 by the look of it.
They don't seem to look after their ancestors that well. I mean, considering how quickly they pass on in comparison, they should show more respect. But oh well. So what do we do now? The wife doesn't seem to be down here.
I think you need to go and open some coffins.
As if in answer to Yorl's question, a chilling voice says, "I know what you could do. You could die." And the door slams shut. And the lids of the coffins open, revealing the contents within.
Dun,
Dun dun dun.
It is Emo Carry Rook.
Yep.
awesome.
Evil Kararuk climbs out of one of the coffins, as does Shanashar, and you see other people climbing out as well. So anyone who has GM'd for me might recognise some of the character art here.
Ah, Shanazar, we've come to save you!
So
You have a particular preference, John. It seems in your
possibly, yeah.
It's not bad.
So I've reused character art from some of my characters here. I'm just going to quickly get out another hall soother to soothe my poor throat.
Is anybody worried Mackenzie might just be like a corpse that John has like stuffed and keeps on the couch?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Oh, Michaela?
Oh, that's better.
That would be worried.
Well, if that is the case, I am too delusional to know it. So the people climbing out of these coffins are pale-skinned and rather strange looking. They look like they are somewhat soiled from the grave, and their skin is kind of almost translucent. As they open their mouths to grin at you, you see that they have elongated eye teeth. Your first thought is that they are probably vampires. Your second thought is those are pretty big teeth even for vampires. And you notice their flickering tongues are forked.
We're rodents.
Vampire Kararuk says, "You may have broken my connection to Mershulk, so that I lost my Malison form. But I still seem to have some connection to the Yuan-Ti. You see, my acolytes have other powers. You'll learn all about them shortly."
Yeah, we're just gonna kill you. Getting fed up with this, Mr. Twin Me. You've taken stuff that was mine. I'm not impressed. You're gonna die tonight. And that's it.
Like this dagger here. I'll give it back to you, Kararook. In a very, very intimate fashion.
Promises, promises.
Do you guys all know him then?
Yep. If you learned any battle spells, Yorl, this is the time.
Oh, okay, right. Off we go. Let's see what.
Remember when you were in school and you used to blow up your mates with fireballs? Do that now.
I think I might have accidentally removed somebody from the turn order.
Maybe Pontos will do it again.
Yep, you deleted me, I think. But that's fine. I had a terrible roll. I'll roll it again.
Yeah, I had a terrible roll as well, so don't worry about it.
So.
Pontos in there.
My good God, both Borin and Yorl just completely tanked their rolls. Lovely.
Let's see, let's add Pontos in again. So he got a 16, is that right?
Nice.
There we go. So Pontos, Kararook, Yorl Deep, and Borin. Exciting.
Bringing up the rear.
Haha, you said rear. So, the first of these creatures to act is this one here. She moves towards you. I had better open her character sheet so that I can see the things. Her eyes, rather than glowing red, glow a greenish colour. And you can see her forked tongue flickering between her teeth. She moves towards you. Her claws are held up as if ready to scratch at you. She doesn't quite reach you yet. Shanishar looks across the room at you all and tries to do a thing. So, who's getting this? It's got to be Borin or Yorl. What's the distance? Oh, too far away. Okay, I'm going to have to move. So, Shanishar steps forward into the gloom that separates you a bit more. And she looks at... I'm going to decide randomly. 1 for Borin, 2 for Yorl. Yorl it is.
Welcome to the team.
Please, can you take a wisdom saving throw for Yorl?
No, roll not, thanks. I'll take my get back on selection.
Ooh.
Right, okay. I didn't really want to do this too early on, but I'm going to do as a reaction. I'm going to use my ability, so I can either add +2 to my AC or +4 to a saving throw. But the downside is next turn I can only use cantrips.
Ah, okay.
So that is now a 16 for wisdom.
Sadly, not enough.
Son of a bitch.
So, Yorl is now what we would call
bucks.
Charmed.
Not the end of the world.
So I am going to put the charmed symbol on Shanashar to remind us that she is the one who is inflicting the charm. So a charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. So Shanashar is off limits for Yoril at the moment.
That's not the end of the world.
So although the target each time. Okay, so the effect lasts 24 hours or until thingy. Okay, so you don't automatically get a resave until certain things happen.
Yeah.
But
so that's fine.
So that's that bit. Another of the scary women's moves towards you, claws outstretched. And then we move on to Kararuk.
I'm gonna start arrow thing. I'm gonna run over here, then down behind, and I'm gonna attack this one here with the peace dagger. I don't get sneak attack, don't get advantage, but as a fire based because we're in a cold place and it needs to keep warm somehow.
Nice try. My answer is no.
Cool.
So-
Carrick's going to stay where he is.
Okay. On to... so, this is a legendary action. Vampire Kararuk is doing a legendary action. He is... I have to check how far he can go. Okay. That is definitely wrong. And I have too many windows. Come back, Kararuk. Right. So, Kararuk moves half of his movement and does a thing. And he hides. Does anybody have a passive perception? As high as 25.
25.
Ooh.
Okay. He appears to vanish, for he is hidden. So,
Okay.
on to Pontos.
Pontos is going to charge up here, attack this one with his great craving axe.
Oh, I should definitely change the music.
So
There we go. We definitely want some organ music. So, oh, Pontos is flanking.
yeah, bonus action.
Starts with a crit. Boom!
Awesome! Well done, Pontos.
But only 17 on a crit. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
does he
there
get a
was-
second attack?
He has 3 attacks.
He has three
Three.
attacks. Yeah.
So I can do a great flaming axe again.
Yeah.
He can do three. He can do three with the axe and then one with his claw.
Oh my gosh. So you get advantage again?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You get advantage each time.
Pontos. This is.
Hell yeah. Keep going. Let's kill his wife.
I like Pontos.
The rogue suddenly discovering the joys of multi-attack.
And he's got a claw attack as well.
Yeah. Only one-handed.
Yep.
Again. One-handed, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of damage he did.
Ouch.
Wow. Alright, cool. That's Pontos done. Wow.
Cool. Oh, it looked like an extra camera was coming on then. Was that a... So,
It's me by mistake.
so this one here. This is Shassa. She's not really Shassa, but this is Shassa's character art. She closes in as well. It is Vampire Kararuk's turn. He is not visible at the moment. He is going to do a thing.
Is my little cat helping me as well?
No, it doesn't like you. It wants you to die.
Wow.
Okay, I need to measure without you knowing that I'm measuring. How do I make that invisible? Broadcast to others. I don't want to broadcast to others. I want it to be secret. Okay. So, Vampire Kararuk pops out of nowhere, having snuck across the room in stealth mode. He is going to try and stab Yorl. Or shall he bite her? He's going to try and grab her. Okay, so. Oh, Yorl doesn't have a blood type yet.
I should rather keep it inside her, to be honest.
Understood. So. Yorl is grappled. And there is a missing exclamation mark in that code there. Excuse me. So Yorl is grappled. So that does no damage, but she is now grappled. Escape DC 18. And since you are grappled, Vampire Kararuk is going to bite you.
I really don't want you to.
Unfortunate. Jump.
Oh, Jesus.
So, please make a note of your original hit points.
Yeah, I've got that on my. Oh Jesus, yes. Oh Christ.
And let's give you a blood type. I'm assuming that elf blood is red. Kararuk's blood is red, isn't it? So poor old Yorl, first time with the new party, gets bitten by a vampire.
My blood was red, but it's turning more bluish since I've been hanging around with deep.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, now we are on to Anujash, which is the silliest name ever, and a gift from the random name generator, which I thought sounded cool. She rushes forward with her claws outstretched. And we move on to deep.
All right. Well, it is not looking good for poor Yorl. So let's see. Okay, I want to cast Spirit Guardians as a 5th level spell. Just keep this asshole standing in it.
Ah.
I'll have to try to dislodge him. But can you give me the template?
Yeah, we've got one, haven't we? There we go. Let's see if it comes out the right size. Hold on. Spirit Guardians. There it is. Is that big enough?
I
What's the
feel
radius
like
to
it's...
it?
Let's see. The radius is 15 feet.
So it needs to be one bigger, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it two bigger?
Well, it's one in each way. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Nah, only getting Emo Kararuk, but getting him can be difficult, so I'll take it. Unfortunately, I don't have a bonus action, so I'm just gonna menacingly look at him and say, why don't you pick on somebody your own size? You Marilyn Manson listening lunatic.
Okay. Can you please drop Spirit Guardians in the chat? Because I can't remember how it works.
Okay.
On a side, Spirit Guardians is one of the spells in Baldur's Gate 3. Right.
Yeah.
If you are good or neutral, there's blah 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 blah. If you are evil, blah 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 blah. You can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. An unaffected creature's speed is halved. When the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts his turn there, he must make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. So, is that the end of Deep's turn?
Yep.
Okay. So, another helpful legendary action coming up. And this one is called Cloud of Bats. So, Vampire Kararuk explodes into a cloud of flapping bats, which flit off. Oops, I've just moved that thing, and I don't want to move that. I'm going to put that on the map. And he floats off 30 feet this way. Pew! And because he is in the form of bats, he does not attract attacks of opportunity. However, Yorl is no longer grappled.
That's a good thing.
On to Yorl.
Okay. Well, seeing all of this, she's going to go to there, which is 15 feet. And then she's going to hold out her staff and try and attack this one between between Pontos and Kararuk. Public roll. Let's see, these are all new drop downs. Normal roll.
29! Boom! Oh, that wasn't even a crit, was it? Oh, it nearly was. Nearly was.
Nearly was. For 11 points of fire damage.
Wow, okay.
I can hit, guys.
An upgrade already.
So,
First kill. First kill.
Hey! You're awesome, well done.
so I need to check a
And-
thing.
Then I'm just going to duck back down here and go, I'll go back up. There does seem to be quite a few of them. I don't know what you've done to annoy them, gentlemen, but these ladies seem a bit perturbed. And that's me done.
See, it was a
Okay.
bad blind date.
So, well done, Yorl. On to Borin. What's Borin going to do?
I think Borin needs some tact and subtlety
Lies.
as he runs there with his. What's he actually got? Is he? What weapons has he actually got? Yes, he's got drop weapon. Dagger returning. What the heck? Hasn't he got an axe or something?
No, he's using the dagger of return.
Okay.
He had
He's
he had been using the dagger of return +2 because I think his other weapons are conventional weapons.
I'll only use a dwarven weapon.
He's going all prison on these ladies and just shanking them. Then
He's doing what to them?
I said shanking.
Oh, that's weird. Something weird's happened there. Why does it say no action surge?
I'm not even doing action surge. I'm doing a normal attack.
Oh, God, what have I done? Something has gone wrong with that script, obviously. Oh, hold on. That's long rest just so that you've got the things. I don't even know what it's checking for an action surge. That's just obviously gone horribly wrong.
I'll try this again.
I tell you what. It worked last week as well, so I don't understand what's gone wrong with that. Hold on, let me see if I can find the dagger of return in my list, because this is going to need to get used a lot. Dagger of return +2. So, have I really messed up the script that much? For now, I'm just going to duplicate that. And I'm going to delete the lines which look to see whether you have an object before it allows you to use it, because at the moment that is not necessary. How did I manage to do that? How did he manage to make it work last week if there's an error in the script that tries to deduct action surge every time you attack with it?
I don't know. I was just told him to give you the message. I didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Sorry.
No one says. Oh.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Our key weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Two weapons. Surprise, fear, and an almost fanatical devotion to the Pope. Amongst our weaponry are such diverse items such as fear, devotion, almost fanatical devotion to the Pope, and lovely red uniforms.
Give it a try now. Maybe it'll work now.
Okay. Right. You're guessing shanked. Just accept this.
What was that?
She's guessing shanked.
He's getting. Shanko. Warren.
Okay, let's try shank number 2. Alright. Did it go right bit? Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like it. I just rolled really low. Come on. And finally, shank number 3.
Ooh.
And as a bonus action, I will get his shield start to float round him.
Cool.
So he could be using that. Oh no, that's defender sword. That's something completely different. Yeah, so he's got this shield now floating around him as well.
Cool. So
And that's about all he can do at the moment.
there we go. I have equipped your animated shield on the character sheet, so that has amended his armor class. It is about 20 past 11, and we have just finished the round. So maybe we should call it there for this week.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Okay, so let's change the music to something a bit less intense. And then
You'll kill someone.
I'm going to frighten Pontos by saying, also really, really sorry, Brian, in the chat.
oh, you meanie. So there's that bit there, and we go to OBS and then we make Kevin invisible. If I can remember how to do it. Where are you? There you are. Kevin is invisible. I need to update this so that I've got Yorl on it. In the meantime, I shall change to the awards channel there and make the awards slideshow visible. So, oh, it's moving on its own. Pause, restart. Okay. So today is the
Thursday.
Today is the Thursday. Today is the 26th of October in the year of our Lord 2023. So, first award, first kill.
Yeah.
That's a steel killing biatch we've got.
Yep.
So was that was Pontos, wasn't it? Pontos knocked
No.
it down, didn't he? No?
No.
Oh no, it was Yorl. Okay, sorry. There we go. New character wins the first award in the first session she's in. Purely as a technicality, I think that's probably a kill of the week as well.
But it's a real good.
And then what we've got?
I don't know how close she was, but I suspect it could well be.
I think it qualifies. Kill from the grave.
Not yet.
Not applicable. Okay, then we have damage dealer. Who do we reckon's the damage dealer?
I'd say Pontos because he had a big run of hits during that.
Yeah, we didn't have any individual hits that were massive, did we? But we have had multiple attacks. So Pontos there.
What attacks? Well, that's impressive.
Best supporting role.
I don't think we really got a chance this time. Adam.
Yeah. I'd say just pass that one.
Yep. We could do that. Fumble of the week. I don't think we've had any fumbles this week.
No, it was a fairly safe week.
Oh, what a shame.
Unusual.
So many not applicables. Okay, then we skip to Role Player of the Week.
Well, it's you guys. I put my vote down for you guys. Just were you trying to talk to our lovely harem of crew, and then talking to the Lord of Fairwick about the situation. So yeah, I'd put it down to Deep and Carrock, really.
Okay. Can we split an award?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
I mean, you two were sort of stepping up to do all of the talking, really.
Cool.
Good.
Whose side are you on?
Give me chance.
Not applicable.
That's not applicable this week, isn't it? Okay.
This week.
Pincushion. So this is either Carryrook or Yorl, I suspect.
I did. Carrot decided to not be a good trapsmith. I got bit by a vampire.
Yeah. I don't know. Carrock did get pricked by an actual pin.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I think
Yep.
that pretty much clinches it, doesn't it?
Oh,
Okay.
the irony.
Very good. So that is a full set of awards. I think. Did I just accidentally put them in November? Oh, you fool! I have just put them in the 2nd of November. I don't even know how I came to do that. But I am going to copy that from there. Paste it in there. And then I will have to put the blank. Copy the blank on top. So, Halloween-ish. Since it is Halloween next week, I thought it might be time to have the return of Evil Carryrook. So we're all done with awards. Thank you for continuing to support the game and for playing with me.
No worries.
We have been going for 100 sessions, nearly 3 years. That is pretty good. A lot of people don't manage that. So, thank you for being part of the whole thing.
No worries.
That's good fun.
Good times. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Catch you
Catch
next
you later.
week.
Right, cheers. Bye.
Have a good evening. That's
Bye.
cool. Thank you.
Wait.